Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the birthday releasing on the outer campus of Southern Community College, the site of the Region 15 Women's Basketball Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nassau Community College Athletic Association is committed to the ideals of good sports, safety, and fair play. We ask all our fans, along with the coaches and players, to show respect for the opposing team, team officials, and everyone before, during, and after today's game. Persons that are throwing out or participating in other acts in conflict with good sports, just safety and fair play, will be subject to rejection and prosecution. In addition, any spectator who attempts to enter the court of play during the course of play will be also subject to rejection and prosecution. We do believe we deeply appreciate your cooperation, and we hope you enjoy today's game. In this first game of today's semi-final round, the Lady Lions of Nassau Community College will be the home team. The Lady Tigers of Queensborough Community College will be the visiting team. The Lady Lions come in as the #1 seed with a record of 15 wins and 3 losses, while the Lady Tigers enter the game with a record of 15 wins and 12 losses, and they are the #4 seed in the tournament. And now let's meet the starting lineup for both teams. First, the visitors from Queensboro Community College. Starting at the guard position, the Boston freshman out of New York City, number 12, Sabrina Racing. At the guard position, the 6-foot freshman out of New York, number 30, Destiny McCall. At the guard position, the sophomore out of Queensboro, number 33, Whitney Hope.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the This is QCC alum David Russell along with the coach Michael Kerr. Queensboro getting ready to take on Nassau in this Region 15 semifinal matchup. Queensboro coming off a dramatic comeback overtime win against Dutchess County. Nassau meanwhile beat BMCC by 35 points. Nassau won both meetings against Queensboro this year, and I'm wondering, Coach, what's the key to a Queensboro upset?
Well, they are coming off a really dramatic, hard-fought victory against Dutchess in the quarterfinals. I think one of the keys that Queensboro has to look at is the health of Naomi Birch, one of their leading scorers, who injured her knee seemingly pretty badly in the Dutchess game. She's dressed and looks like she's ready to go today. But another big key, of course, is going to be the big girl in the middle, Khadijah Carroll. They need to get her the ball. I think they need to get her the ball often. She needs to be effective down low and also effective in finding open jump shooters on the perimeter.
Queensboro win the dark jerseys. The starting five for the Lady Tigers: Erica Redwood, Candija Carroll, Whitney Hogan, Destiny Nagora, and Sabria Grayson, who came off the bench and sparked the Queensboro comeback against Dutchess. And Grayson misses the jumper. Meanwhile, the starting five for Nassau: Jada Hyatt, Jenny Petchasek, Cassie Cherry, Sydney Harris, and Mo Jones. That three-pointer is no good. Out of bounds, it will stay with Nassau.
Yeah, Queensboro's got to get back on defense and identify the shooters right away. Petchasek was really wide open on that jump shot.
Nassau comes into this tournament as the #1 seed. They won 15 games this year, coached by Christine Abrams, who's also the volleyball coach. Offensive rebound, and the basket is no good. And rebounded by Carroll.
Queensboro in their 2-3 zone had trouble on the block out there. It's no obvious responsibilities for blocking out of the zone. And that time it hurt them as Nassau got in the offensive rebound.
And then Cherry with the steal at the other end. Picked off the pass from Redwood. Nassau looking for the first points to the game. 1 minute in. Nice move to the basket. Shot no good. Got her own rebound, and the shot was blocked. Grayson the other way. Redwood. Redwood going to the basket and lost it. It was taken away. Petchasek. Nice pass, no good though. And then a foul is called in the act of shooting.
Yeah, Petrasek's pass was a little bit late. She should have threw it maybe 1 or 2 dribbles earlier. Gave Khadijah Carroll a chance to recover and disrupt the shot.
Foul is on Redwood. Queensboro looking for a better result than last year when they came here to face Sullivan County, and they were down 23-2. A few minutes in, they were down 50-16 at halftime. First free throw is good. Hyatt is Nassau's leading scorer at 15.8 per game. Actually have 4 girls averaging a dozen or more per game.
Yeah, and you can see Hyatt's already made 2 aggressive moves along the baseline with the ball. You can tell she can get it done on the offensive end.
1-0 Nassau, minute and a half in. Hogan. Tough defense by Nassau. And that causes a backcourt violation.
Yeah, Nassau on a really aggressive man-to-man defense. They're very active in it. They have active hands, and they actively communicate with one another. If they can keep that up, Queensboro's going to have trouble finding a lot of consistent opportunities to score. So we'll see. And Nassau looks like a pretty strong defensive team so far in the early going.
Long pass to Petchasek for 3, and it's good. Jenny Petchasek makes it 4-0.
A nice skip pass over the top by Cherry to Petchasek. You know, makes the zone have to shift and make a long close out. Not quick enough to contest that shot.
Grayson going inside. And a foul is called against Nassau. First foul against Mo Jones. A hand check. Look, in the 2 meetings earlier this year, no Queensboro player scored 20 points against Nassau. Carroll led the team both times with 16 and 19 points. And she lost it on the way up. A Nassau player got the hand in. Pass over the top. And then Jones loses it, and it went off her knee last, so Queensboro will get it. Nassau led, Petchasek led Nassau in scoring in each win against Queensboro. She had 14 and 18. Redwood the other way, and that's no good. Queensboro scoreless in the first 2.5 minutes. Jones a long pass and then a foul under the basket.
Yeah, Nassau looking to push the pace a little bit. When they get the rebound, they really get out and go. They tried a couple long passes. But Queensboro's doing a good job getting back and knocking it away. Unfortunately, that time, Sabria Grayson ended up with the foul.
Carroll with the block. Queensboro ball, nice inbounds play, but Carroll altered the shot. Hogan going in the lane, the shot is no good. And rebounded by Hyatt. Hyatt's the team's leading rebounder, 11.3 per game. Might not the size that Carroll has. But gets good positioning. That shot is no good off glass. Carroll with the rebound. Queensboro looking to run. Grayson dribbles out. Carroll from the free throw line. No good. Rebounded by Nassau.
It was one of the few very, very good looks that Queensboro's gotten. Wide open jump shot from the foul line. Still can't break the seal on the scoreboard.
It's good off glass. Timeout, David Chambers. 6-0 Nassau. As Hyatt has 3 points, Petrusek has 3. Queensboro scoreless. 3:25 into the game.
Well, you can see Nassau is very aggressive defensively in their man-to-man. Queensboro's having trouble getting good looks. They also are pushing the pace, as I mentioned earlier. Queensboro hasn't been hurt too much in transition, but defensively they're playing the 2-3 zone, and what Nassau is doing is they're bringing the ball to one side of the court, they're running their shooter opposite, and then they're setting a little fade screen or a back screen on the weak side and throwing a skip pass over the top for an open jump shooter. Petrusek made 1 3. I believe Cherry had an opportunity, just missed one. But they're getting good looks against the zone. So we'll see if Coach Chambers in the Queensboro huddle right now kind of alerts his girls to that fade screen, that flare screen. And, you know, they just need to communicate better, be aware of it, fight over the top of it, and just get to the shooter as she catches it. You don't have to steal the ball. You just have to make the shooters miss and then gather in that first rebound.
Queensboro wants to hang around. It's that old line, you can't win a game in the first half, but you can lose one.
Very astute, David. I've heard that before.
The 2 previous meetings, you look at the first half, when these teams met in January, Nassau was only up by 5 at halftime. They won by 8. And then when they met at Nassau, the Lions led by 17 at halftime, won by 16, kept Queensboro at bay in the second half.
Well, hopefully this game will be one of the closer ones, and we can have an exciting matchup that anybody could win at the end.
In the men's playoffs yesterday here, there were 3 upsets in the 4 games. No upsets on the women's side in the quarterfinals. 1, 2, 3, and 4 all won. The winner of this game will face the winner of Sullivan-Suffolk. His Grayson shot is no good, and there's a rebound by Hyatt. She's not very tall, but she's in the middle of everything.
Yeah, she's been doing a lot on both ends of the floor. She's very active, and she's making plays all over.
Long pass again. Petrusek for 3. Air ball, but chased down by Jones. Or by Cherry, excuse me. And her shot is no good, rebounded by Carroll. Queensboro scoreless in the first 4 minutes plus, but still hanging around. Redwood, in a crowd of Lions, threw up a shot which is no good. Tough defense being played by Nassau.
Yeah, very active, making it very difficult for everybody on Queensboro to get a clean look.
Still 15 on the shot clock. Corner 3 is no good, and rebounded by Hogan.
Nice little shallow cut there by Cherry. That time the ball stayed on the strong side, but she came off a little baseline screen for another wide open shot. Nassau's getting great looks.
Grayson misses a 3, and Petrusek comes in.
Nassau's getting great looks against Queensboro zone.
Nice bounce pass from Petrusek, but the shot was no good. Good transition defense altering the shot. Looked like Hyatt might have an easy 2. 5 minutes and 20 seconds in, 6-0 Nassau. Redwood to Nagora from the free throw line, and an air ball.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good possession. Just Redwood just basically wearing out the floor, dribbling the ball on the left side, and then Nagora just threw up a very quick shot. They need to run some better offense against Nassau's man-to-man.
And now Valentine goes in for Nagora. 2 minutes since Chambers called the timeout. Neither team has scored. He has to be happy with his defense so far.
I was just going to say that's a glass half empty or half full, depending on which end of the floor you're thinking about.
And traveling called against Nassau, going down with the ball.
So Nassau that time tried to go inside on the zone. They've been having great success reversing the ball mainly by skip pass and getting wide open jump shots. They haven't made so many, but looking to get inside and try a different strategy.
Redwood going to the basket and scores the first points of the game for Queensboro. 6-2.
Erica Redwood likes to take it at you, and she's capable of doing it too, and putting it in the hole.
They went almost 6 minutes without their first points, but they're only down by 4. They go inside. Good job by Carroll to alter the shot. And then Carroll with the rebound.
Carroll might have gotten away with a foul on the first shot, but she did a good job hanging in there and gathering in the strong rebound.
And then Grayson drew a pass that a 10-foot Boston Celtic couldn't have caught. Nassau ball. Petrusek. Cherry to Jones. Jones going inside and has it taken away. Now a 2-on-1 for Queensboro. Grayson, little pull-up shot is no good. And then a foul called, missing the fast break opportunity. And that's number 2 on Grayson. Maybe a frustration foul in the backcourt. And Grayson goes to the bench, and Naomi Birch, who got injured in the final minute of the Dutchess game, is in for the first time. See what kind of spark Birch gives. Petrusek. Good ball movement by Nassau. Mo Jones. And three-pointer is no good. Offensive rebounding, Carroll takes it away.
Nassau is moving the ball around very well, and you have to do that against zone defense, especially against any defense. But you got to get the ball to one side of the court, distort the defense, and then get it to the other side as quick as you can.
Birch misses a 3. She was 3 for 19 against the Bronx in the CUNY title game. Pull-up jumper, no good. Birch comes out with it and lost it momentarily. Queensboro being patient. Hogan to Redwood. Redwood going to the basket. Couldn't score though. Carroll almost had the offensive rebound, but couldn't keep the handle on it.
Yeah, didn't get anything out of the high ball screen. Kind of missed the screen, but give Nassau credit. They fought through it, communicated on the high ball screen, and were able to stay with their assignments.
Petrusek for 3, no good. Queensboro ball. And Queensboro is doing a good job of making sure Nassau is going one and done.
Yeah, I mean Queensboro's fighting. They're doing a good job in transition defense. They're doing a good job in on their interior defense. The problem is Nassau is getting a lot of open looks from the perimeter. Now, if Nassau stays cold from out there, Queensboro is going to be in this game once they unlock the secret to scoring against this man-to-man defense that Nassau is doing.
Nassau hasn't scored in 5 minutes. Carroll's shot is no good. Birch gets the rebound and dribbles out. She wants to take that 3. She goes inside. Valentine, no good. And then Hogan with an offensive rebound.
Yeah, Queensboro's got the size advantage here. They have a big lineup in right now with Hogan, Valentine, and Carroll together.
Redwood inside. Carroll's shot off glass, no good. And Nassau ball. Coast to coast, and it's 8-2.
And there's the first transition basket that it seems Nassau is really looking to be a big part of their offense.
It was Mo Jones with the basket. Redwood couldn't score. And they're running that play that they ran at the end of regulation against Dutchess, the clear outs for Redwood.
Yeah, that's the open. I believe they call that open. That's their open play. They spread it out and let Redwood take her defender to the basket. She's a handful to contain.
Cherry's shot is good. And another timeout taken by Queensboro. So Cassie Cherry makes it 10-2.
Yeah, I think in this timeout, Coach Chambers is gonna talk to them, at least on the defensive end, about securing the inside now, because all of a sudden now, for the first time, about halfway through the first half, Nassau's starting to attack seams in the zone, and they're getting the ball driven into the lane, and then they're getting little short shots like that one from Cherry just now. They need to shore up their interior defense, which has been strong till recently. And you know, once Nassau goes back to getting ball reversal and looking to shoot those open jump shots, if they start going in, Queensboro's going to have some catching up to do. But the main problem is offensively. Coach Chambers has to come up with something else to try to get better looks more consistently. They're doing a pretty good job on the offensive glass, giving their team second and third opportunities. But like some of the other games that we've seen late in the season, they're just having trouble, you know, getting over the hump and getting the ball through the net.
And Queensboro's not a bad team, a team that has 4 girls averaging double figures in points.
Well, they're all due then today.
Redwood to Birch. Back to Redwood. Alana McCrae, who's in for the first time, is called for traveling. No basket.
So, you know, I kind of liked what Queensboro started to do that time, but once McCrae got the ball, it's got to get to the other side of the court. She kept it. The ball went to the right side of the court. All 5 Queensboro girls, and of course all the Nassau defenders were there, and she should have brought it over to the left side to make the Nassau defenders chase her.
And traveling is called. A little trapping causing some problems. 9:59 to go in the first half. 10-2 Nassau. About 2 points in the first 10 minutes for Queensboro.
Yeah, after that timeout, Coach Chambers put in the three-quarter court zone press, which that time, of course, resulted in a turnover.
Speaking of turnovers, Petrusek takes it away. And she's fouled. We'll see if they say if it's in the act of shooting or not. 2 shots. And the foul is on McCrae. Been a quick game, not too many fouls. Only 4 against Queensboro, 1 against Nassau. And Petrusek averaging 15 points per game. One of the 3-point threats for the Lions, along with Cassie Cherry. As Petrusek makes the first. 11-2.
She's a 3-point threat, but according to the stats, not a huge threat from the free throw line, shooting only 53%.
Makes both there.
Shooting 100% today.
Yeah. 12-2, 9:45 to go in the first. Queensboro looking for some spark on offense. Redwood to Carroll. Birch. Down to 10 on the shot clock. McCrae going to the basket and putting it in off glass.
Good, McCrae giving him a little spark off the bench. Good.
Single-digit game again, 12-4. Mo Jones with the ball. Cherry, they go inside. That shot is no good. Almost an offensive rebound. They do get it. Petrusek for 3. It's no good. And rebounded by McCrae. McCrae will be called for traveling. Except when you get called for traveling and nobody's around you.
Well, she wasn't quite in position to step in in rhythm just to take that wide open jump shot. The pass might have been a little behind her, and she was trying to get a little closer. So if the passer had waited, you know, an extra half second, she would have been fine.
One thing that Queensboro is doing well, they are not turning it over and leading to Nassau fast break opportunities. It happened once or twice, but not like last year against Sullivan when it was 23-2. At least Queensboro's defense is keeping them around, and there's a steal. As Valentine came up with it, but then they turn it back over.
Yeah, Queensboro's doing a nice job on defense, and they're rotating well when they need to. That time, Valentine stepped in front of her man and got a hand on that ball.
There's a long pass. Now they go inside, and Carroll with good defense to alter the shot. Redwood, long pass to Valentine. Gets there, was tipped by a Nassau player, and then Redwood loses it. And now Jones may go all the way, and it's 14-4.
So one thing I've noticed is Cora Valentine really sprints the floor well. She beat everybody up the court. She got the ball in the low block. I don't think she realized if she just put the ball in her right hand and dribbled to the middle, she had a layup, but she was looking to pass it out. She needs to be a little more aggressive with her size, getting the ball in that close.
And Mo Jones takes it all the way again, and now it's 16-4. So I say they're doing a good job of not turning it over, and then they turn it over a few times, and all of a sudden it's 16-4.
You got to stop putting the Joan on him, David.
Yeah. Foul called against Nassau. Foul is on Cherry, her first. Nassau playing with 8 girls. It's amazing they don't get tired because they started their season in January. So you're talking about 17 games or so in a month and a half or 2 months. Grayson to Carroll, and a charge is called, and if that's on Grayson, that's her third. And it is. And she'll have to spend the last 7:28 of the first half on the bench.
Yeah, and that can hurt Queensboro. She was so instrumental in their comeback win against Dutchess in the quarterfinals, and now she's going to be spending a lot of time on the bench, at least for this half. You know, they need sparks like her to get out here, help handle the ball, help make shots. You know, they need something offensively with only 4 points this late in the first half.
Foul called against Queensboro. Remember the last time these teams met, Grayson scored 13 all off the bench, as Redwood is called for the foul, and that's her second. Remember, David Chambers went with a different starting lineup against Dutchess. He had Ivy Omokaro in, and he had Nagora in, who also started this game. But Grayson was so big in the second half, he decided let's just ride it out with her.
Oh yeah, ride the hot hand. She certainly was good in that game.
That shot is no good. Now Grayson picks up 3 fouls in the first half. Redwood going all the way to the basket and then losing her footing. But a blocking foul is called. That would explain why she lost her footing.
Yeah, she got a little lucky on that call. She had rose up a little early, and I think because she fell down and there was a little contact, it was a good call by the ref, but she might have got a little lucky.
Hyatt is called for her first foul, only the 3rd team foul against Nassau. Makes them play such physical defense and do it without fouling. Birch's 3-pointer is no good. Hogan with the offensive rebound, and her shot is no good. A lot of these shots aren't close. They're off the side of the board.
Yeah, and good. I mean, off the offensive rebound, Hogan had a great look, wide open, no contest, and they just can't find the opening in the rim up there.
Nassau still has 12 on the shot clock, going up and under, and good off glass. And all of a sudden, it's 18-4 as Hyatt scores inside. 5 points for Jada Hyatt now. It's more than Queensboro as a team.
Yeah, I think what's happening is Queensboro is struggling so much to score that they're starting to break down on defense now, and they need to, you know, really hang their hat on their defense because they can do a good job with it until the scoring starts to happen.
And Hogan is called for traveling, and now Anais Ward will go in for Queensboro, and Valentine will go to the bench.
Yeah, Queensboro needs to really knuckle down on their defense and keep that consistent, because that can always be consistent. Shots are going to go in, shots are going to not go in. Right now they're not going in, but they need to, you know, be within striking distance, you know, once their offense gets rolling, so they can have a chance to win this game. But Nassau is starting to get easy looks now as Queensboro is breaking down.
And there's a turnover, so Queensboro will get the ball back. 3 different Nassau players have more points than Queensboro does as a team. About 4 points in the first 14 minutes. Yeah, they're not totally out of it, but this is where you get to the outer limits. Like once it hits 20, it's very tough to come back from. Yeah, they came back from 15 in the second half the other day, and Birch hits a long 2. It's 18-6.
There you go. You're more powerful than you think up here. Every time you say something, it comes back.
Jones trying to answer back. That shot is no good. Contested right at the basket. Queensboro can make it a single-digit game on this possession. Ward. Long pass to Birch. Birch being defended by Petchesek. The 3-pointer is no good.
It's a great box out there by Hyatt. She just cleared Khadijah Carroll out of the play.
And Jones's jumper is good. Nice transition basket. Jones leading Nassau with 8 points, and Nassau leading Queensboro 26. Redwood getting some help from Birch. Carroll to Redwood. The jumper is no good. Air ball, rebounded by Petrusek. Petrusek long pass to Jones. Jones' shot is wild, no good, but the offensive rebound and the basket by Hyatt. And it's 22-6.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes to go. I mean, we talk about, last 5 minutes of the half, first 5 minutes of the half being really important. Queensboro needs to get on their horse and make this a game going into halftime. If they can get it, to single digits, would be tremendous. I mean, there's certainly enough time to do that. But they need to start picking up the offensive end here and find a way to solve this Nassau defense.
Birch's jumper is no good. They say last touch by Petrusek. Queensboro has 5 on the shot clock. Hogan gets it to Carroll, and Carroll's shot is no good. Hogan with the offensive board. Her shot is no good. Carroll's rebound, and her shot is good, and it's 22-8.
Good. Now they need to string together a few stops and get back in this game. Still in that 1-3-1 half-court press.
And that was Carroll's first points of the game. Petrusek for 3. No good. Rebounded by Hyatt, who lost it. She was fouled. That'll be a 1-and-1. And that's going to be number 3 on Redwood. So only 7 fouls have been committed by Queensboro, but 3 on Grayson and 3 on Redwood. David Chambers has to get her out, right?
Yeah, I would think with 3.5 minutes to go, you certainly don't want to pick up her 4th. He may give her this next offensive possession, and then get someone to the table.
Make sure Nassau doesn't get an offensive rebound here. And Redwood would be playing defense.
Well, yeah, it could happen, but it's a chance you take. It looks like that's what he's going to do. And when I used to coach, I used to do that a lot because you never want players looking over their shoulder all the time. Every time they commit a foul, thinking they're coming out. I would give them the offensive possession and just kind of hope that they didn't have to play defense again. So he should get someone to the table now if he's looking to take her out.
Hyatt makes
if not,
both.
he's not.
Yeah, it's 24-8 with 3.5 to go in the first. Redwood has the ball. Nassau keeping everything in front of them also. Cutting off the penetration. Ward to Birch going inside. Carroll's shot is good.
And maybe Khadijah Carroll can start getting moving here, getting going.
It's 24-10. Remember, they were down by 13 at halftime to Dutchess. Might be around where this game could be at halftime.
Yeah, and that one didn't hold up, so we'll see.
Yeah. Going baseline underneath. Wave off the basket. Traveling is called. So there's a stop they needed.
Yeah, Queensboro's shoring up that interior defense again with that zone. I mean, they have a lot of length and size.
One thing Redwood has to be careful of, she likes to penetrate. She has to be careful not to pick up a charge, which would be number 4. Ward has her 3 blocked. How many times do you see a 3-point shot get blocked?
Not very often, unless it's like at the very end of the half.
Nice pass, but broken up by Ward. Good job to get a hand on it. Nassau ball with 22 on the shot clock.
Yeah, good job by Ward. She just had her shot blocked. She didn't get down. She just sprinted down the floor and then broke up that fast break. Good job by Ward.
Hyatt puts it in off glass, and that shot was contested. Hyatt with 11 points.
Yeah, we can see why Hyatt is Nassau's leading scorer. She can do a lot, and she's Queensboro's got their hands full with her right now.
26-10, 2:15 to go in the first. Birch 3-pointer, no good.
Yeah, Birch really trying to get going from the perimeter. Typically, she's a pretty consistent 3-point shooter. She might be forcing a little bit now. One thing Queensboro can't start looking at the scoreboard and worrying that they only have 10 points. I mean, if they just close out this half decent, I mean, they could still be in the game.
3-pointer is no good, but Hyatt with the rebound, and then her shot is no good. Carroll blocks the shot, and Queensboro has the ball. 1:45 to go in the half. Redwood went all the way, and Petrusek rebounds the Redwood miss.
Redwood's got to be careful now, picking up that 4th foul. She's playing awfully aggressive.
Yeah,
with only a minute
and she
and a
even
half
reached
left.
in there. Petchesek, nice pass inside, and a foul called. Foul is against Ward.
And Queensboro has 2 girls with 3 fouls. Nassau has 3 fouls total as a team in this half. And Nassau's playing some aggressive defense, but give them credit, they're playing aggressively, but playing without fouling.
Harris makes the first. Queensboro sub. Ivy Omokaro is in. But not for Redwood.
That's right.
Harris makes both.
Well, I think Coach Chambers wants one of his better offensive weapons on the court in Redwood, so he's going to take a chance on her not picking up that 4th foul.
28-10. Redwood with the ball. And her jumper is no good. And rebounded by Harris. Long pass, Petchesek is straight on 3. Is good. Petchesek makes it 31-10. 1 minute to go in the first. Petchesek got open. It's a 21-point game. Ward going inside, and Ward is called for traveling.
All right, Queensboro should just, with 46 seconds left, just worry about getting 1 stop and 1 score and get into the locker room and regather themselves. But they need to get this stop here.
Cherry to Jones. Petchesek. Long pass to Cherry. Well, they go inside. Hyatt outside. Cherry to Jones for 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Carroll. Queensboro could hold for this final shot.
Now they want to make sure they get a good look here or get to the free throw line and get a score.
Don't want to go too soon and give Nassau another chance. And it's a turnover. Fast break chance for Nassau. Petchesek finishes off glass. And it's 33-10. Ward has her pass taken away. And that ends a pretty ugly first half for the Lady Tigers.
Ugly on the Queensboro side, especially offensively. Only 10 points in the half. That's not going to get it done.
Only 10 for Queensboro as a team. For Nassau, Hyatt had 11 and Petchesek had 10.
Queensboro's got to do a better job getting the ball inside. That's where what success they've had offensively is around the basket. They've taken jump shot. They haven't made an outside jump shot yet, but they've gotten, Carroll's made a couple looks, and they've gotten offensive rebounds and putbacks for the remainder of their 10 points.
So we'll see if Queensboro can make a game of it in the second half. At halftime, the Nassau Lady Lions lead Queensboro 33-10. Second half underway, Nassau leading 33-10. And they have the ball to begin the second half. Queensboro had a dramatic comeback in their last game against Dutchess. They trailed by 15 early in the second as traveling is called against the Lady Lions.
Bit of a hill to climb here for Queensboro, and you can see Coach Chambers has changed his starting lineup. Naomi Birch is in the lineup now to start, one of his better scorers. Trying to get an offensive spark.
And Grayson and Redwood both with the 3 fouls are in. Grayson, pass for Birch was tipped away by Petchesek.
Okay, but Queensboro's being aggressive, trying to hit the seams and trying to get into the lane.
Grayson inside Carroll to tie up. We'll stay with Queensboro. The winner of this game goes to the Region 15 title game against the winner of Sullivan-Suffolk. Birch puts it in.
Nice little second move off that out-of-bounds play. Birch found herself wide open under the basket.
33-12. I wonder if you're Nassau, is it dangerous? How do you not fall asleep when you're up by so many? Is it a little natural to have a letdown?
Well, it can be, but I'm sure you're a competitor, and you know you're in the playoffs now. You can't let that happen. Sometimes you'll see a little bit of a letdown. These kids start looking at the scoreboard and think it means something early on.
Birch with 2 more points. It's 33-14.
And you gotta not let that creep in if you're the coach and certainly one of the competitors on the floor. You gotta play every possession for the full 40 minutes, or you might find yourself in trouble.
Petchesek to Jones. And a reach-in foul is called. And it's number 4 on Grayson. She spent the last 7.5 minutes of the first on the bench with the 3 fouls. Now picks up number 4 pretty early in the second half.
They're only a minute and a half in. She's going to be on the bench for a while now.
And Grayson was the one who sparked Queensborough against Dutchess. Petchesek for 3. No good. And actually went in, but that won't count.
In a way it's good, but in another more accurate way, it's no good. Hit the wire up above the basket before it actually fell in through the rim.
That would be a good shot in horse, though.
We saw a similar shot last year in the men's final, Nassau and Suffolk, at the buzzer.
Yeah.
If it didn't hit the wire, it would have counted, and Suffolk would have been the regional champions. Instead, it was waved off, and the Nassau men went to the national tournament.
They still had to beat Sullivan the next night. Foul called against Nassau after the turnover. And how about a 6-0 start for Queensborough in the second half?
Well, that's a great sign, because that means they went into the locker room, they didn't get down on themselves, they regathered themselves and came out with some aggression and saying, you know what, it's 20 minutes left in our season if we don't put something together, so let's start putting it together. So give Coach Chambers and his girls credit for coming out in a strong second half, first 5 minutes, very much like we saw at Dutchess.
And Carroll and Hogan, they don't want to see their community college careers end with an ugly blowout. No, of course, no one wants that. Even the freshmen on the team who are slated to come back next year, you never want to end your season on that kind of a down note. Now let's see what Nassau does to adjust to Queensborough's enthusiasm coming out of the locker room here. See if they do something different on the Nassau side. I thought that was the one tough thing about the loss to Sullivan last year. Not just that they lost by 33, but that was the end of the Queensborough career for Shantana Canoy and Giselle Prentice, 2 girls who had very outstanding games for the Lady Tigers. And they went out with the game like that. Redwood to Birch. If Birch gets going from downtown, it could be a game. Carroll gets it, and that shot rims out. Carroll really physical post up, but she needs to set up a little bit deeper, a little bit closer to the paint. She was a little far away, but still got a decent look at it. Rolled out of the rim. And there's a 4-point swing. Carroll couldn't score, but Harris does. 35-16. And stuff, when you're down by so many, you make a run, and they score 1 basket, and it's a 19-point game again. And they call an offensive foul against Redwood. There was definitely contact on the play. I guess they called Redwood for the push-off. I'm not sure I like that call. I think if I'm Coach Chambers, I'm not very happy. I would have hoped for a blocking call on that. But the call is the call, and no one seems to be arguing except for me. It's the coach in you. I'm having a flashback moment. And you would have thrown in a few more words. About Queensborough has only committed 10 fouls, but 8 are on Grayson and Redwood. Out of bounds ball to Queensborough. And Redwood staying in with the 4 fouls. Really no position to start coaching the minutes.
Well, I mean, there's no tomorrow, and Redwood is, one of their top offensive players. It surely gets them going, and they just obviously you don't want to lose her, but
Carroll's jumper is good, 35-18.
Khadijah Carroll's been productive at the free throw line, as well as around the basket.
Petrosek's jumper is no good. Will look like a set shot.
What year is this again?
Queensboro looking to hit the 20-point mark. Inside, Carroll's shot is good. 35-20.
Khadijah Carroll put it together, caught it a little bit off the low post, but made a little reverse pivot to face the basket and stuck that jump shot. Nice job.
Leading Queensboro with 8 points. And Queensboro starting the first 4 minutes of the second half on a 10-2 run. Harris has it stripped away. Redwood with the ball. Redwood going to the basket and putting it in off glass. And it's 35-22.
Got it down to 13. The press is on. Now they're settled back into their zone in the half court, zone defense in the half court.
And there was a little contact there, but they didn't blow the whistle.
Yep.
Down to 12 on the shot clock. Petrosek in the corner for 3. No good. An offensive rebound and the basket. 37-22.
Alana McCray unfortunately tripped over the line trying to close out on that shooter. Fell to the floor, gave up a wide open shot.
I believe it was Hyatt who scored. There's a long 2, which is good by McCray.
Her feet stayed under her that time. Nice job on the open jump shot, keeping Queensboro within striking distance.
Timeout Nassau. 13-point game and still 14:44 to go.
Well, now I think if I'm Coach Chambers, I think about. I mean, I hate to stop any momentum, but I worry about keeping Redwood out there on the floor. Maybe sit her down for a few minutes. Although she's one of the sparks, so maybe not. Maybe she should still be out there.
And speaking of sparks, when do you put Grayson back in? If you put her back in, she has 4 fouls.
Yeah, but she also hasn't done much today. I mean, obviously the foul trouble is a big part of it. Redwood has really been leading the team. Her and Khadijah Carroll as well. They sort of need to be on the floor for Queensboro to continue this run.
The one thing that bodes well for Queensboro, when they erased the 15-point deficit the other night, they only did that in 4 minutes or so.
Right, yeah, I mean, and they're not quite as quick today, but it doesn't matter. They have a long way to go. If they can erase the deficit, they'll be happy.
They can score points in a hurry. I do think Nassau is better than Dutchess, so they might not commit some of the same turnovers.
Right, and that was part of it. In fact, we were talking about Sabria Grace and the great game, the great second half she had. She created a lot of those turnovers against Dutchess. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to be as easy against Nassau, who has some stronger guards and stronger ball handlers.
Queensboro scored 10 points in the first half. They already have 14 in the first 5:16 of the second.
I'd be interested to see what Nassau does now out of the timeout. Maybe they play a little zone, maybe pack it in a little more to keep Khadijah Carroll from hurting them from the low post and also from like the mid post area. She's been very productive.
Another big thing for Nassau, they've only committed 4 fouls as a team, and 2 of them are on Mo Jones. Here's Jones with the ball to Cherry. Cherry, 10 on the shot clock. Gets it to Jones. The long 2 is no good. Tipped, and McCray has it, and then a tie-up. And it will stay with Nassau.
McCray's done some good things for Queensboro off the bench in this game. Not a lot of things that show up in the stat page necessarily, but she's given them a little bit of life.
Hyatt to Petrosek for 3. And it's way off, and then the offensive rebound and the basket.
Yeah, nice job by Naomi Burks to get out and contest that three-point shot to make Petrosek miss. But a poor job by the rest of the Lady Tigers on blocking out on the shot. And, Nassau just runs in and scores a layup.
Carroll with the basket. She has 10 points now. It's 39-26. But Queensboro can't trade baskets. They need stops, and there's a carrying violation. Queensboro will get it back. Just wonder, when does the pressure really start to mount on Nassau?
Well, I mean, it looks like it is a little. Their girls aren't playing with the same swagger they had in the first half. But there's plenty of time left, and they're just going to try to stop Queensboro's run here. But Queensboro playing with a lot of confidence right here.
Redwood lost the handle on it. Cherry slows it up, then takes a jumper and misses. And McCray with the rebound. Missed opportunity for the Lady Lions. Although it was good transition defense by Queensboro. Cherry didn't want to.
Yeah, they've been hustling back on defense, doing a good job all day.
That shot is no good. Loose ball, and it will stay with Queensboro with 13 on the shot clock. Hogan will inbound. Not a lot of room once you get out of bounds. Right up against the wall.
No, especially with the person holding the video camera right behind you.
Carroll. The shot is no good. Tip to Cherry. Petrusek got behind the defense. And she goes in for the layup, and it's 41-26.
And clearly Erica Redwood was the only defender in the area. She just backed away and allowed that layup. Didn't want to pick up her 5th foul.
41-26. 12:50 to go. Birch. Dribbling around. The 2 is no good. And out of bounds.
It's been hanging around the 13 to 15 point spread now for a few minutes. Queensboro needs to gather themselves and make another push here and cut into this deficit still.
Jones to Petrusek. Inside, Harris. Good shot contest by Hogan. And Hyatt's shot is no good and rebounded by Carroll. Still 12:20 to go. A lot of time. And then a turnover.
And not sure where Hogan was going. Nassau was back and in defense. Hogan kind of caught that on the run. Looked like she was just going to take it hard to the basket. There was all kinds of white shirts in front of her. She ended up throwing it away.
It's weird in playoff time. 12 minutes is a lot of time, and on the other end for Queensboro, it's getting very late.
Well, certainly it's in the eye of the beholder, depending on if you're ahead or behind, that's for sure.
Under 12 minutes to play now. Petrusek, corner 3 is no good. And an offensive rebound by Harris. Her shot is no good. And Carroll hauls in another rebound. Redwood. Bounce pass to McCray, who lost the handle on it, got it back. Carroll. Outside to Redwood. Still 15 on the shot clock. Redwood making her move. Bounce pass. And then a foul is called against Nassau. Only the first on Petrusek.
They've only committed 5 the entire night, the entire afternoon.
Hogan inbounding. Well, it's a 5-second violation, but they get it in. Birch on the perimeter. Doing a lot of dribbling. Pass is kicked out of bounds.
Yeah, so right when Birch caught that ball, she made a nice little shot fake, and she had the left lane wide open, but she just refused to go to her left side. And the defense knows that, so they're ready to cut off her right, and she just keeps trying to force it with the right hand, and it turns into a lost opportunity for Queensboro.
Jocelyn Grant goes in for Nassau as Harris goes to the bench. Redwood, 3-pointer is no good, and McCray touched it last. I think if they made it a single-digit game, that might put Nassau on their heels a little bit.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens when Nassau sees a little adversity in that way. That would be a great point.
And Hyatt is hammered inside.
I mean, Nassau has had a comfortable lead, really, right from the opening tap, almost right away. They jumped out early. You're right. If Queensboro could cut into the lead and cut it to an 8 or 9 point game, now Nassau's got to really start making some pressure plays to close it out, which is always hard to do.
First foul on Hogan. It's still early, but what do you think about fouling Nassau earlier in the game than usual?
I mean, I would wait a little while, but yeah, at some point you might want to start lengthening the game a little bit, especially if you could find some low percentage free throw shooters at Nassau, maybe some freshmen who aren't up for the big game task.
And as long as Redwood and Grayson aren't the ones committing the fouls.
Correct.
Timeout taken by David Chambers. 11:05 to go. Nassau leading Queensboro 42-26. So what's going on in the huddles?
Well, I mean, you know, Queensboro came out of the locker room at halftime really, really well, and then they've sort of leveled off a little bit. Now he's got to kind of get them motivated to start, you know, forcing turnovers maybe, but more than that, just getting to shooters, making Nassau miss shots, and then doing a better job of blocking out and securing that first rebound. On the offensive end, they could push it on Nassau a little bit. Nassau is, you know, a faster, more athletic team, but once they get it in there, you know, try to score before Nassau can set up. And if they do set up, I still think they got to get the ball into Khadijah Carroll. She's done a very good job when she's caught the ball in the low post or in the mid post area, you know, facing up and making some jump shots. And then they got to crash the offensive glass. So Nassau is still playing their man-to-man, and they have Cherry guarding Redwood, who's clearly their best on-ball defender, kind of limiting Redwood a little bit. So Queensboro's got to find some other options to score, and I think they need to look to Khadijah Carroll, who's already shown that can have some success against this Nassau team.
It was a 23-point game at halftime. Queensboro cut it to 13, but they haven't been able to get closer than that. 16-point game with 11:05 to go. David Russell with Mike Kerr. Queensboro hoping it's not the last 11 minutes of their season.
Yeah, I think with about 14 and a half minutes left or so is, I think, when Queensboro cut it to 13 points, and it's kind of been hanging around 13, 15 ever since. You know, now it's 16, so you know they need to make another push, another run, and then it's up to Nassau to try to answer that again.
Hyatt makes both. It's 43-26. "11 minutes to play. Queensboro will need points, and they'll need them fast."
And Nassau down in the zone defense now after that timeout.
And a foul called against Nassau. Only the third team foul of the half.
Yeah, it looks like it's showing as a 3-2 zone. And once Queensboro got the ball to the baseline, it morphs into a 2-3 anyway. But like all their defenses, it's active. There's a lot of hands. There's a lot of communication, and it's giving Queensboro a lot of trouble to get easy scoring opportunities.
Counted on the foul. Redwood puts it in. "43-28. Now you gotta make your free throws if you want to get back in."
Yeah, well, it's back to 15. If she makes this, it's 14, and you know, maybe like you say, get a couple more baskets closer. Now you're starting to put some real pressure on Nassau.
And Harris goes in for Grant. Redwood misses a free throw. Still a 15-point game. Petrusek, I was going to say you wonder when Nassau's going to run some clock, but they've been patient even when they were building their lead in the first half.
Yeah, they take their time and make sure they try to get good looks on every possession.
Redwood picks off the pass. Now fast break opportunity for Queensboro. Gets it to Carroll, who finishes.
And that's the first time Queensboro read that skip pass over the top of their zone, and Redwood did a nice job seeing it, getting through the defender's screen, and stealing that ball. Great job.
Down to 13 again. Harris. Tough contested shot is no good. She gets her own rebound, then misses again. And then Hogan had to go through her hands.
And then that steal on the last possession by Redwood, most importantly, they turned it into points on the other end on the fast break.
Petrusek will inbound. Underneath, Harris puts it in off glass.
Yeah, Khadijah Carroll was just asleep on that out-of-bounds play. She was standing with her hands at her side, and the Nassau girl just stepped in front of her and made a layup. She just, I guess, wasn't ready for the inbound play.
Redwood. Long pass, Birch launches a three, no good. And Hyatt hauls it in. Jones going all the way and laying it in, and it's a 17-point game again. And that's a dozen points for Mo Jones.
Yeah, nice aggressive move by Jones, and Queensboro's got to keep the ball out of the lane. They can't just let penetration get all the way to the rim.
Hogan finishes after Birch rebounded her own miss. 47-32, 9 minutes to play. And then an answer right at the other end.
Jones again. She's taking it at them, and no one's stepping in front to stop her or to take a charge or to take her off her path.
Now another fast break opportunity, and Birch commits a foul. So I guess you got a foul, can't just keep letting them score in transition. And Birch isn't in foul trouble. That's her first. Say this for Queensboro, they competed in the second half. They are competing.
Yep, and Monique Jones now is giving Nassau a big spark. On the free throw line now, if she makes these two, she'll have scored the last 6 points in 30 seconds.
A very quiet 14 for Jones. No, a quiet 15 for Jones.
Starting to get a little noisier as she scores. As she continues to score, it's getting noisier and noisier.
Grayson back in for Queensboro.
That's a good move. You gotta get her back in. Less than 10 minutes to go. I mean, you gotta play your players right down to the end here. Lead back to 18.
(51-32). Jones leading Nassau with 16 points. Hyatt has 15. Petrusek has a dozen. Inside, Carroll. It's good.
That's why they got to go. She's doing her thing in there.
Carroll has 14 points. Second highest Tiger scorer is Birch. And Redwood, they have 6 apiece. Carroll in what might be her last game with Queensboro blocks a shot by Petrusek.
And there's an active play by Carroll. Now she's running the floor with Grayson.
And Grayson hits, and it's down to 15. Would you believe, though, those are the first points of the game for Sabria Grayson. Nassau the other way, no good.
That was a good job by Carroll, rebounding out of her area. She really had to throw her body to where that ball was coming down, and that's a big thing when you look at players. Can they rebound out of their area? Does the ball have to come right to where they're standing in order for them to get it?
Let's just say on the last possession, I thought Nassau went too fast. They came right down and took a jumper.
Yeah, they got to start looking at time and score pretty soon too.
Another tie up, and this one will go to Nassau.
So.
Nassau leading 51-36. We're down to 7:40 to play. Petrusek to Jones to Cherry. Hyatt going to the basket and putting it in off glass.
We saw that the first few possessions for Nassau in the first half. Her just driving baseline and laying it in, and there she goes again. She's good around that baseline low post area.
Seems like they've been trading baskets. Grayson, nice pass, but Omokaro couldn't finish. Had her shot altered.
And Nassau should slow down and run some offense here. Looks like they are.
Under 7 minutes to play. Cherry, they go inside out. Petrusek for 3, and it's good. And it's a 20-point game.
It's a good job by Nassau, slowing it down. You know, bringing the ball into defense, collapsing the defense, kicking it out for a wide open 3. And Petrusek is proving that she can make that shot.
That's the tough thing about having a bad first half. You make a run in the second half. I think Queensboro has played decently, and you look up and you're down by 20.
Well, I mean, they've played well in the second half. Now the last couple minutes, you know, more recently, you know, Nassau has gone on a run. Mo Jones really sparked them with a couple layups, and then the 2 free throws off the fast break kind of extended the lead to 18. Now it's 20. And, you know, sometimes mentally, you know, you look up, you're down 20 points. I mean, you know, now it is a big thing because there's only 6:46 to go. But sometimes even earlier in the game, it's more of a mental hurdle to get over. You know, you may be down less than you think. Now that being said, you know, time really is short right now. So Queensborough's got to get on their horse and really make consistent stops the rest of the game. They almost have to tell themselves, we can't let Nassau get much more than 60 points here because it's going to be hard for us to get another 24 with under 7 minutes to go.
So a 60 your magic number?
Well, I don't know if it's magic, but defensively that's a tall order. With 6.5 minutes, with a team as good as Nassau, to hold them to 4 points or less is going to be tough. And but if they can do that, at least they can have some chance if they get their offense going and get to the foul line and score without the clock moving like we like to talk about. Maybe they can get back in this game.
That Petrusek 3 may have been the dagger. She also hit a big 3-pointer in the final minute of the first half.
Yeah, no, she's a good shooter, and the reason she made that shot, honestly, yeah, she's a good shooter, but Nassau did a good job sucking the Queensboro defense in by bringing the ball into the lane and then kicking it out to her as she rolled up to the top of the circle, and she was wide open, and she can make that.
It doesn't hurt to have no defensive players within 8 feet of you.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, yeah. Even I can make a few of those.
Birch misses a 3. We're under 6.5 minutes to play. Jones puts it in off glass, and it's 58-36.
Yeah, the Nassau girls can really get up and down the floor.
Grayson to Redwood for 3, and Redwood is fouled in the act of shooting. That's number 2 on Cherry.
Well, this is what we talked about. I mean, if Queensboro can take advantage of these free throw opportunities, it's really going to help them because they can put points on the board and cut into the lead without the clock ticking down.
Redwood makes the first. Guess Queensboro will look back not at one play, but what if Grayson wasn't in foul trouble? What kind of spark could she have given?
Well, anyone who saw her play against Dutchess in the last round would definitely ask that question. She when she's on, she can really be dynamite and really be a big spark for this team.
She started this game because of foul trouble, spent a lot of time on the bench. She has 2 points. As Redwood makes all 3, it's 58-39.
I mean, Grayson may have played a total of like 5 or 6 minutes this whole game with all the time she spent on the bench.
We haven't called her name a lot.
Except to say another foul on Grayson.
Yeah. Petrusek goes outside to Jones. Back to Petrusek. The long 2 is no good, and there's an offensive rebound. But she was on the line.
Yeah, so now Queensboro has to make Nassau miss, which they did, but then they cannot give up an offensive rebound. That's huge. They have to make sure they go one and done on the defensive end. They were lucky that Cherry stepped on the end line after her offensive rebound.
Grayson to Redwood. Redwood lost it. Fast break chance for Nassau. Nice pass by Petrusek.
It seems that Monique Jones is always ahead of the pack. She can really get up the floor, and they find her up front. She's gotten a bunch of baskets in transition, probably 4 or 5 baskets in transition alone.
60-39. And back they come the other way. Petrusek baseline jumper rims out. Under 5 minutes to play. Grayson going all the way and missing. Nassau can't hold the ball. The floater is no good, and then she gets her own rebound.
I don't think Cherry heard you when you said Nassau could hold the ball. She was not looking to hold it, driving 1-on-4. Luckily, she got it back, and those are the types of plays that are hurting Queensboro. Now Nassau could just run some offense and take some time off the clock.
Even there, they took 20 seconds.
Yeah, even if they miss, if they take 20 seconds, it's a successful possession for Nassau at this point.
Grayson puts it in. Queensboro scored 31 points this half. Not bad showing. It was the 10 in the first half that was the problem.
Right, you got to play the whole 40 minutes. 20 minutes isn't going to get it done at this level or really any other.
Petrusek for 3, and it's good.
That time, Grayson was the closest Queensboro defender in the area, and she didn't even try to contest that shot.
Shot's no good. Look at the scoring. Jones has 20, Petrusek 18, Hyatt 17.
And now Nassau should just make sure they're running good offense. Wide open jump shot.
Harris hits. It's the biggest lead of the game, 24, 65-41, 3:20 to go.
Yeah, it's getting away from Queensboro now. Nassau just has to just make sure they don't turn the ball over and run some time, run some clock every possession, even if they don't score on it.
At this point, I think the only way Queensboro can win is by forfeit. I think this might be it.
It could be, could be. Someone pull the fire alarm.
I wouldn't put it past you. Queensboro team that might be happy to be here, considering they almost had their season end at home against Dutchess.
Yeah, well, that was, but you know, I gotta give them a lot of credit. They really fought back hard, and you know that game was coming off a really difficult loss in the CUNY championship game against Bronx Community College a few days earlier, and in the first half they really came out flat against Dutchess and were down big at halftime. But the second half, you got to give them credit and give Coach Chambers a lot of credit to have his girls motivated, and they really came out, shot out of a cannon in that second half, and took Dutchess to overtime and ended up with the W to get here. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to carry over that same momentum against Nassau.
Queensboro had a very good year, 8-2 in the regular season in CUNY, finished 4th in the region, where you're talking about 3 losses to the Bronx and now 3 losses to Nassau.
Sometimes teams just have your number. How about that?
That three-pointer is good by Birch, 65-44.
Nice shot, but it's too little too late.
Nice to see Birch playing after she was injured against Dutchess.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good thing. She looked like she was hurt quite badly in that Dutchess game, so it's good to see her move. And she seems to be moving around fine. Knee is wrapped up, but she doesn't seem to be limping around or anything.
Hey, this was an interesting second half. You talk about a 23-point game being cut to 13.
It several times cut to 13, and with a lot of momentum in Queensboro's favor at that time. So unfortunately, Nassau, being the good team that they are, made some plays at that point to get themselves, back up, 17, 18 points, and then once they got it up to 20, 22, it's just, cruise control now for the last few minutes.
Also looking at the end of the Queensboro days for Candidia Carroll, who was excellent in 2 seasons here, won a CUNY championship, was CUNY Rookie of the Year in 2014, was CUNY first team this year.
Yeah, she's a talented player. She had a great second half today, offensively and defensively. She had a ton of rebounds as always, and she really was giving Nassau some problems in the interior offensively. Unfortunately, it was kind of the only bullet in the gun offensively for Queensboro this game. Really, the other girls who usually step up in the scoring column, and they do have a few, kind of didn't have it going for them today.
I think Carroll could definitely play at the next level.
Yeah, I believe so too. We've talked about that in other broadcasts, and yeah, she's got a lot of good things going for her.
Petrusek will go to the bench for the final minute and 7 seconds.
Yeah, she's replaced by Taylor Ingram, number 3, who her first action today. Seeing her first action today.
So also the end of the Queensboro playing days for Whitney Hogan. Very nice role player. Wasn't quite on the Kanoy Prentice Carroll level, but she gave them good minutes. Had some very good CUNY playoff games when they won in 2014.
Yeah, for sure. Now she hustles, she rebounds, she plays hard, she makes shots around the basket when she gets her opportunities. Very good role player.
Ingram scores, which gets a big cheer from the bench.
So her points per minute average is through the roof right now. Maybe we should use her more.
Redwood called for traveling.
And there's Ingram forcing the turnover by cutting off Redwood's path and forcing her into a travel.
The unsung hero of this game.
I'm telling you. See, I always root for the players who come in at the end of the game in the games that aren't close, that usually don't play a lot, because that was my role when I was a player. And I always root for the...
Except for the part where you made it in.
Well, I mean, I'd get in only in these situations. I used to be the president of the 30-30 club. I'm 30 up, 30 down, 30 seconds to go. That's when you'd see me.
Redwood fouls out with 33 seconds to go.
Not as impressive as the 30-30 club that they do in baseball.
Not quite, no.
Not the same thing.
Nassau can basically run out the clock. That was a good season for Queensboro. Didn't end on a high note.
Well, for sure. I mean, they were the top seed in the CUNY tournament. Unfortunately, they lost a real tough championship game, made it to the final, and had made a very good showing in the regional tournament, knocking off Dutchess in overtime, and then fighting back in this game. Like you said, cut it to 13 with plenty of time left in the second half, and just couldn't get over the hump after having really a tough, really disastrous first half.
How about Mo Jones? 22 points for Nassau.
Well,
and the
she's
final
all over.
score, yeah, 71-44. But for Queensboro, they won a CUNY playoff game. They won a Region 15 playoff game. There's something to be said for that.
And something to build on, as always. I mean, you know, next year you want to go in and say, you know, with the girls who are returning, you want to talk to them and any of the new girls for next year. You want to come in and say, listen, we're this close. You know, we're one game away from the CUNY championship. You know, we're 2 games away from a regional championship. So we just got to do a little bit more, and we can be there. So Coach Chambers, I'm sure, will use that to his advantage when he talks to his returning players for next year, and with any new players he brings in. Just the fact that, you know, we're building something really good here at Queensboro, and they've seen some success. Of course, they want a little more, but they're really just this close to getting there.
It was fun having you win on the broadcast this year, Mike.
Oh, I had a ball. Thank you very much for having me, guys. And, you know, they don't let me coach anymore, but at least I can talk about basketball, and I do enjoy doing that.
Well, this is QCC alum David Russell. For Michael Kerr, the final score, Nassau 71, Queensboro 44. Thanks for watching.